Hello, everyone. Today, as the Women of Impact and Influence series that we are doing to celebrate Women's History Month in March, we have a special guest, Yvonne Myles. Myles is the founder of Vibrantly Living You, a health and wellness lifestyle movement that is committed to helping people claim health so vibrant. It's as though you are aging backwards. Oh my gosh, I love that. Don't you love being able to age backwards? We all would be so happy to have it. Yvonne is a very interesting person. She is a black belt Nia technique instructor with more than 20 years of experience. Nia, Nia is a powerful fusion of dance art, martial arts, and healing arts. More than a workout, Nia is a personal practice and lifestyle choice. And I cannot wait to try it myself. Yvonne created Vibrantly Living You after retiring from her role as a director of knowledge sharing for an energy company and deciding to follow her calling into healthy lifestyle coaching. Yvonne has also had training in yoga, martial arts, and newer conscious dance program called Surya Soul. Oh my gosh, we have so many things in common. I also have a special training in yoga and I love dancing. Welcome, Ivan. Welcome to our community.
Thank you, Elena. And thank you not just for inviting me here, but for shining a spotlight during Women's History Month. I think that is just fantastic. So appropriate.
This is wonderful month. I love it. And wonderful course. All right, Ivan, tell us more about Vibrantly Living You. What do you do for people?
Thank you for asking me that. I do my best to inspire and guide people to be able to live your best life by achieving your best health, overall health, by boosting your immunity, raising up your energy. And we take a good look at how you bring in nutrition into your life, and whether there's an opportunity to redesign the way you look at food and how you keep your body healthy. And in some cases, that's going to mean sugar detoxing or learning how to move differently. It's really all about activating the right choices for yourself in such a way that it becomes easy, effortless, and that you enjoy doing it. So it becomes a lifestyle practice and it becomes sustainable. And of course, it's always focused on achieving so much health that it feels as though you're aging backwards.
Well, this is so wonderful. And tell us, please, how did you come into this work and what made you decide to become an entrepreneur?
I came into this work in a way, I guess it was always a part of me. I have always been more or less a healthy eating advocate. I was never really fanatical about it. I don't follow every single fad, but I started noticing that when I ate better, and certainly when I kept my body moving, then I felt better, I had more energy, and I really enjoy the sensation of my body feeling strong from the inside out, of being able to move fluidly and feeling very much in control of the way I move through life. And I guess the real motivation for me was when all of a sudden I felt like I lost it. A lot of factors were a part of that. First of all, menopause being the biggest one, and having some injuries, some joint injuries, mostly with my knees. And then as a result of those two things, gaining more weight than I thought I would ever have gained, and feeling the heaviness in my body, in my spirit, really, in my soul. it started to make me look at the next phase of my life totally differently. Everything that I thought I would be doing, being an active retiree once I got to that point, suddenly now seemed out of reach. So that is what motivated me to take this step forward into creating Vibrantly Living You. Because once I was able to make just some minor changes, some very simple changes in the way I was eating, in the way that I was moving, in the way that I was viewing the world around me, just simple little changes. Everything started to change, and I reclaimed my health and my vitality in a different way. And I just felt like I need to share this with other people. It's too good to keep it to myself. So that's what motivated
Oh
me.
my God, this is so good. That I am sure there are so many women can relate to what you're just saying. With as we age, our body is changing, our mind, everything is changing, right? And we have to make this small, easy adjustment to stay vibrant and beautiful, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. The biggest thing that hurts me from the inside when I see other people struggling with it, it's that it's that loss of um, love for yourself.
Right,
You
right.
know, especially when we compare it to what society, what our culture is telling us, what we're supposed to look like, and what is acceptable.
Yeah, we often put ourselves on the back burner, right? We are not coming first.
Right.
Everybody else is first, the business, the family members, and we need to start loving ourselves. Well, I see that you are passionate about health. And why is your passion coming to nutrition in particular? I know that you're focusing a lot of nutrition.
Yeah. Well, I often say that nutrition and movement are the two biggest tools in your toolbox for health. And so that's why I want to. I started out by focusing mostly on those things. But, it's true, really, that your health comes in lots of different dimensions. There are a lot of different things that really do factor into to being healthy. Um, but the other reason is your health is something that you can control. There's so many things about your life that you might not be able to control, but you have a lot more agency in the in the condition of your health than you probably think you do. The majority of the diseases, chronic diseases, the majority of those chronic diseases are actually driven by how you eat and how much you move your body. And when I'm talking about chronic diseases, it's the ones you hear about all the time. It's obesity, diabetes, cancer, hypertension, dementia is even on that list more and more because those diseases are driven by our lifestyle choices, and primarily that is how much you eat and how well you move your body. And those chronic diseases can either be prevented or your condition can be improved when you make those lifestyle changes. And in some cases, some of those chronic diseases can actually be reversed. So there's so much control in your hands. You don't have to be giving away your wealth to doctors and insurance companies when you've got so much control really in your own hands. Trillions of dollars spent, trillions spent when you just look at the COVID crisis, right?
Right, right. And I so agree with you, Ivan. This is so inspirational for me to hear that we can reverse our um, even a chronic disease, right, by paying more attention to simply to nutrition. And it's so wonderful to hear.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for sharing this with us and giving us many of us giving hope.
yeah, yeah. It's really um, powerful to start thinking of your food as
Mhm,
your medicine,
mhm.
as your medicine.
Right, right.
Yeah,
And how can you give us few tips how we can change how we eat right now. I particularly feel like I'm a good healthy eater, but I'm always searching for something that I can improve and pay more attention to what I eat. Just maybe a few tips for our listeners.
A few tips. Oh my God. Well, diet is so personal. Yeah, it's and every body is different. So you have to just take a step back, maybe, and look at what are your habits and your patterns. What are the, if you'll excuse the pun, the sacred cows in your life that you feel like, oh, I'm just I can't give this up. I'm always going to eat that. And maybe look at those things and see if, maybe you can make some of those things just for special occasions and not for every day. I would probably point you to the first thing, probably the first tip, the most important one is to take a look at how much processed food that you're eating. How much processed food? If if you pick up a food item and it's in a box or a bag, that's probably the first thing you want to be aware of. And then how many unpronounceable ingredients are on the label? That would be another clue as to whether you are eating highly processed food.
Sometimes it's foreign language for me besides English. Yes, you cannot even pronounce it. You're right.
If you feel like you need a degree in chemistry just to understand what you're eating, then probably you shouldn't be eating it. And then
Right.
another tip would be cook as many foods as you can at home,
Mhm.
and keep it simple. Eat whole foods. Or as I like to say in so many of my Facebook lives and with my clients, is eat foods that grow on plants instead of are made in plants.
Mm.
Yeah, so don't get it from a factory. Get
A
it
good
from
one.
Mother Nature.
It's good one. Yes, and especially right now, last year and this year, we're spending so much time at home, right? And I know that the cooking channels have become very popular, and this is an opportunity for many people to cook home and eat much, much healthy.
Hmm. Yeah, and then get creative. You know,
Right.
I like to play a little game and to see how few vegetables I'm going to throw out at the end of the week. I want to use everything in one way or another.
Perfect.
And I become more creative with what I end up
Well,
using.
thank you, Ivan. This is wonderful. These are wonderful tips. And what makes your approach different from other approaches? I know there's so many nutritionists right now, online especially, and many nutritional programs. What makes you different?
Mm. I would say the key thing is the approach that I use now, which says it's more than just nutrition. I'm not a nutritionist and I'm not a dietitian, and I'm not going to follow the latest fad that's out there. It's a combination of the full dimension of your life, the way you interact with people and your environment, the amount of stress that you have, the way in which you approach new situations. And yes, 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 your nutritional practices. And yes, 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 how much you move your body. And it's also how much love you have in your life, how much connection with other people that you have. And this year, especially at Vibrantly Living You, we are looking at health through this full lens, through all the dimensions that make you human. All of those things come together to create vibrant health. The other approach is that it's got to be intentional. I would say that's more my philosophy. It has to be intentional. Good health is not something that you do just here and there. It really has to be something that you invite into your life as a practice. And I keep practicing. There are, I've got my good days and my bad days. There are times when I have certain kind of cravings and I have to just dive into them and get through them as quickly as possible so I can get back to that more balanced state. So recognizing that it can be intentional, just like moving, and with the Nia technique that I teach, it's less about something that you do to your body. Exercise. I generally don't like to use the term exercise. I use the term movement or conditioning of my body, and I don't think of it as something that I do to my body. I think of it as something that I do for my body and for myself.
I love it. I love it. Doing for your body, doing for yourself, to love yourself. And I know that especially now we have to pay much more attention, right, to our bodies. And you're absolutely right that you mentioned that we as human beings, we are so long for connection, and we are so struggling right now with that
Mhm.
because we don't have much hugs as we used to have. We don't have many kisses as we used to have, right? Whenever I see my granddaughter now, I cannot kiss her and grab her and put her to hug her tightly. I can't do it, and I'm so longing for that. That's why I think it's so important for us as human beings to intentionally do something for our body. And if you don't have anybody nearby you, just hug yourself and love yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that was, being really honest with you, that was something that put me on this slightly different path for where I wanted to take Vibrantly Living You. It was in looking at my own life and recognizing that uh, intimacy was not really part of my life, and romance not really part of my life. And I was thinking, how can I encourage people to be healthy in all dimensions if that's missing for me? How can I lead people into that? And the answer to me was, well, maybe Yvonne, you need to get into it and learn it for yourself, but bring along your community. Let's do it together. Let's do it together.
Wonderful, wonderful, Ivan. And pandemic, of course, is a big mm, reality of our life and big reason to pay attention to our health. Is there any other reasons that we need to pay more attention right now?
Yeah, I mean, in truth, people are living longer, but let's not jump over the pandemic right now. This is a monumental time for the planet. Everybody is paying attention because of COVID-19. And, vaccines now are becoming more widely available. Yay. I hope everybody out there goes and gets one. But we've got to be prepared, for that next challenge, that next health challenge. I think we're entering an era now where we're going to be seeing pandemics like this on a more frequent basis. It only makes sense to prepare your body to be as strong and resilient and vibrant as possible so that you can either avoid whatever is coming around the corner next time, or you at least are able to withstand it better. You're in a better position. When we look at the people who have suffered the most from this pandemic, it's people who were not in the best of health, those underlying health conditions we just talked about with those chronic health conditions. And if we were able to reverse all of that, then just imagine what the death toll could have been so much smaller than what it was. So people are paying attention now, and so now's a good time. Now's a good time to take the reins into your own hands. And then the other reason, of course, is that in general, and certainly before the COVID crisis hit, people were living longer. Life expectancy was really getting pushed out there. We've taken a hit now because of the pandemic, but it's going to rebound. And so if you want to be able to live a life of purpose and joy instead of accepting the limitations of old age, then that's another good reason to pay attention. You can break through those paradigms. You don't have to accept that
I
just.
just would like to add to that, and I absolutely agree with you, Ivan, but I would like also to add the finances. As we live longer and we are more active, we need to pay more attention to our health and to our money, right? So we live fulfilling life.
Yes, of course. And you are the wealth queen, and so it makes sense that you would bring in that very
Oh,
important.
I could not to bring it. This is my passion. Well, health and wellness absolutely is absolutely the number one that we need to pay attention to. And there is no number one and number two. There are so many important aspects of our life that we have to pay attention and work on it. And I
Yeah,
have a question.
they're intertwined, right? So much is intertwined. And that's why this new approach that I'm taking with Vibrantly Living You, it's intertwining all of these dimensions and not just pulling out one and saying, go eat your vegetables, you know, and you'll be
This
fine.
is a great approach, the complex approach. It's wonderful, and I so appreciate you doing that. So, Ivan, if our listeners will would like to work with you, how can they do that? And what do you offer as a so you can help them?
Of course. Yes, yes. I would love to connect with your listeners, with your followers. And it's various ways. First of all, I offer a weekly live Facebook chat every Friday, and Elena's going to be joining me actually in a couple of days. Yeah, can't wait. We are really going to delve into this connection between wealth and health. But you can find that on my Facebook page or my Facebook group, Vibrantly Yours. And of course, I have a website. But I also offer master classes and Facebook challenges and trainings that are, if you're not a Facebook user, you can still take part of. I have a private coaching practice where we can work together and understand where you want to go so we can personalize the health approach for you. I offer sugar detoxes, which is a good way to rebalance, reset your system, and start to feel your energy rising. And then eventually, I'll have my longer term group program. The doors to that closed, but we'll be offering that again later in the year. So lots of ways to connect.
And for those of you who are listening us live, watching us live, or maybe watching the replay, don't worry, I will post all links to Ivan's site, and any links that she has, I will post them in the description of this video so you can easily find her. And are you offering anything right now, the particular any program, Ivan?
As a matter of fact, I am. I'm so glad you asked me that question. In fact, I have to say that it was the opportunity to come here and speak with you that caused me to say, I want a special program just for Elena's.
Woohoo! You make me so special, Ivan. Thank you.
So I'm offering a 4 class Nia package Fridays from April 23rd. I just set the dates, April 23rd to May 14th. I think that's the second Friday in May. So 4 classes for the price of three. And so the regular price will be $77. But for you, today only, actually not today only, you'll have until
March 26th.
March 26th to sign up for this. your price will be $57. So that's less than the price of three classes. And you'll get to have a Nia experience with me virtually. And
Well, thank you, Yvonne. This is so generous by you. Thank you so much. And this is wonderful, wonderful prize and opportunity to try NIA classes. And I've never experienced NIA before. Can you tell us a little bit more about NIA?
oh, Nia just lights me up. Nia is, like we said earlier, it's this beautiful combination of dance arts, martial arts, healing arts. It celebrates the body. It inspires your mind and your mental processes. It uplifts your spirit. It frees your spirit to let you be who you want to be. And it allows you to embrace emotional expression. That's one thing that sets me apart from a lot of other movement techniques. It brings in the emotion, a range of emotions, not just the, industrial strength, you can do it kind of emotion. It guides you to understand and appreciate your body's way, how your body moves in its own time, in its own way. And we do it with beautiful, compelling music. So there's no experience needed, just an openness and a desire to move. Usually the classes are between 50 and 55 minutes. And I would just, it lights me up. I can't wait to share Nia with people.
Oh, this is wonderful. I'm so excited and I'm in. I want to experience that myself. I have a question, Yvonne. Are these classes, NEO classes, only for women or you allow men as well?
I allow men, of course. Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Men
it's
and
for
women.
both men and women. Good
Yes.
to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do we know? Let's say it again so our listeners are very clear on that. What do we need to do and by when in
Mhm.
order for you to get a special package
Okay.
in that
So
class?
what you need to do is go register for the package, and you can do that on my webpage. We'll put the link in, with this video, but it's www.thelivingyou.com, and that's the letter U, thelivingyou.com. So sign up for it there. The cost to you will be $57. And yeah, $57. And then you will fill out a waiver, and I'll give you the information on how to connect to find the Zoom class. I'm setting it up for Fridays at noon Central, which will be 10 a.m. Pacific time. But get this, if you're not able to join the live class on those 4 Fridays, you'll have 24 hours in which to view the replay.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
This
there's
is
a little
great.
bit of flexibility in there.
This is great. I love the replays because I usually on the go all the time, and my schedule is very flexible, very changeable, and I love the replays. And thank you for offering that option to your participants. And again, this is so wonderful and so generous of you. This is a great prize, guys. You never will get any other class like this. First, it's very special and unusual class, and second, the price is great. So I really encourage everybody to sign in. Is anything else we need to know, Yvonne?
Well, when you sign up for the class, then expect an instant invitation to join my private Facebook group called Vibrantly Yours, full of great tips and inspiration and reminders and replays of my Facebook lives and yeah, invitations to join trainings. But also, you'll be invited to and get a reminder to watch my next Friday Fresh Insight, or Fresh Inside Friday. Fresh Inside Friday. And guess what? The next one is featuring the one and only Elena Cortez.
Oh, Yes, I am so honored. Thank you for the invitation, Yvonne, and I'm so honored to serve your community as well as you doing it today. And to close our conversation, I would like to ask you this question. Since our community is women entrepreneurs who are building wealth, and we already talked about it a little bit, but do you see a strong connection between health and wealth?
Absolutely. There is a connection. And not just from the fact that health and wealth, share the same letters. You just take the H and the W, and they're interchangeable. But your health is the most precious thing you'll ever have. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything else. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are. And there's a saying that, a healthy person has many dreams. So if you've got that wealth, then you have so much that you can do. But an unhealthy person only has one dream, and that's to become healthy. So it's a time for you to be intentional. Your health can come and go, just like mine did. I had to be intentional about bringing it back. And you can think of health as being like it flows, like currency, which is wealth, right? Currency. And you need that to feel safe and secure. You want to have a good, strong financial footing to be able to afford the lifestyle that I'm sure that you desire. And certainly, sadly, because of the the high cost of healthcare in this country, insurance, that you want to have that financial security and stability to keep yourself well grounded and to keep to keep you healthy and happy. So
Wow,
strong.
this is so beautifully said. I love what you said, and I just want to add to this that yes, your health is your true wealth, and without health, it doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account, right? And so, thank you, Ivan, for this wonderful, beautiful interview. Thank you for being you, so powerful, so beautiful inside and out. And thank you for all the job you do for the people. And continue your mission, your your passion, and people need you, especially right now.
It has been my absolute pleasure, Elena. You are welcome. And I look forward to us continuing to connect our communities because we do have so much in common. And this is both, both are important topics for women. So kudos to you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. But don't forget to check Ivan's website and her Nia classes. I'm so excited about that.